How's it going, everyone? Cyberstar65 here. Today we have got a bit of a different topic to cover here. So the latest update of Mario Kart World dropped a few days ago as of recording this video, and one of the newest features was custom items, where you could choose any item you want. This was back in Mario Kart Deluxe, and you can choose anything from blue shells to coins. Yet in this video I'm going to be talking about this update in particular and the rest of the current updates that's happened over the source of the game. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like, and hit the bell to when I do upload. Alright, let's get into this video. So at this current date and time, Mario Kart World has been through 6 updates, with the newest update being version 1.4.0. I will explain this update later in the video, but as I said, I'll be going through every single update. Don't worry, I've done my research. But then yet again, we're explaining what the updates have done and how it has affected the game. Without being said, let's get into it. Now, every time in Mario Kart World Online during the first 20 days of the game, every time you picked random, you would automatically get to play a random track, which is a 3-lap traditional track. Everyone liked this. However, Nintendo started to make updates to the game, so we'll start to talk about those. So when Mario Kart World came out, the very first update was version 1.1.1. This update wasn't a very major update, but this did make some impacts on the game, as it would always do. And examples of this would be where sometimes the game would shut down during an online race. This would fix the issue, as the game would not be shutting down. So say you would disconnect during an online race, somehow out of nowhere. But that is besides the point here. That is such a minor update, so I'd rank it as probably the least effective on this list. Alright, let's move on to the next update. So the next update Nintendo added to Mario Kart World was version 1.1.2. And according to fans and the community, this was by far the most disappointing update and the worst update here. Remember when I told you that during the first 20 days of the game's release that you get to play a 3-lap track? Well, since when Nintendo added this update, whenever you picked random, you would also have to play intermission tracks. I wasn't a big fan of this, neither were some of the biggest YouTubers like Shortcut and TWD98. Anyway, this update was probably the worst update we had. So let's move on to the next one. After version 1.1.2, the next update is version 1.2.0, and this update was quite major in terms of how it impacts the game. Not in a bad way particularly, but mainly in a way so unexpected no one could really tell. So this update, no one would really know. So the first major impact of this game would be like the CPUs would be weaker in versus race. You could also race against no CPUs. Another thing would be events would be open. I think one Nintendo event would be open where you could race for a few days or a week, I think. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But anyway, back to the point. The biggest impact of that update was that the trick boost would last longer, so every time you come from a trick it would last longer than the original boost in the regular first 20 days or first month, I should say, in Mario Kart World. This update in particular really impacted the game because as you about to see here, I show it the Sky High Sunday world record being broken by over a second, or any track in the game being broken over the second, because due to the trick boost being longer and it's been decreased by over a second. So overall this update has been quite impactful, but I wouldn't say it is the most impactful. In terms of time trials it is the most impactful, but not impactful in terms of the game. Anyway, let's move on to the next update. So this next update that Nintendo released to Mario Kart World was known as version 1.3.0 on September the 23rd. This update didn't really go for anything particular. It was only really minor updates to game modes like Battle Mode and Knockout Tour. but the main thing in particular, but whenever you play online, the chances of picking intermissions have decreased. So in comparison to 1.1.2, where intermissions would appear a lot more, the chances of that in this version 1.3.0, would be decreased. So overall, this was a really good update, but the community thought that Nintendo could do a little bit better, which is why we're moving up to this next update here. So our final update on this list is version 1.4.0. This version has a massive change to Mario Kart World, with one of the biggest features being custom items, where you can choose your items in any race at all. So you can have, for example, blue shells only, Kamek orbs only, stars only, mega mushrooms only, you name it. Then there was things like intermissions were changed, such as Koopa Troopa Beach was like being, you could either drive from there or from there. And then whenever you drive an intermission from, like, for example, Crown City or Peach Stadium to Koopa Troopa Beach, you will have to drive 2 laps around Koopa Troopa Beach instead of 1. Yeah, and overall, I'm pretty sure this update has brought everyone back to Mario Kart World, knowing that I've seen a lot of YouTubers come back to this, even some other people streaming it, like with even I tried it myself. I'll show you a clip right here. Yeah, I tried Kamek only, and it was not pleasant. It was absolute chaos. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to when I do upload, and let me know, what do you think the next Mario Kart World update will include? Okay, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.